right, John. I love this part. Influencers come sometimes in a second, right time, right place, right statement. Sometimes they come a lifetime, whatever it may be. My grandfather was my first real influencer when he took me to the park when I was 5 or 6, and he's meeting everybody. And once I said to him, I'm Jewish, I said to him, Zeta, how do you know all these people? And he said, I didn't know any of them. I smiled at one once, and the guy smiled back at me. And then he started talking to me. So I talked to him. And then the same thing happened and happened. And that influenced me more and more as I got older, what that meant. So could you share with us, I know there's probably a ton, 2 or 3 people that have been influencers in your life?
Sure. I thought about this in terms of places that have influenced me, to be honest. I thought it's where I've been that has influenced me as much as individuals.
That's interesting.
But the individuals that really influenced me are my wife and my daughters. And I remember somebody saying that they used to think that we raised our children, and now we realize that our children raise us. My daughters have really raised me, particularly in terms of friendships and feminism and values. They shape me constantly in terms of what I listen to, what I watch, the way I speak, and they're probably, in some ways the biggest influence on me is Alice and Ruby. But I've grown up my adult life in Cambridge, and it's a fabulous city, a diverse city, a city that revolves around education. But it's actually a small village. You can cycle across it in 10 minutes, and everybody just about knows everybody else. But the further away you get from Cambridge, the bigger it feels. And it's a city which has got a university and a major teaching hospital, and it's connected, and it's where ideas can come to life. And it's where the Street Child World Cup was born. It was the idea of a girl at a school assembly that just said, look, the World Cup's happening in South Africa. Why can't street children have a World Cup? And I think if we'd have been in any other city, it might not have taken off. But in Cambridge, it did, because it's a city that's sort of like a bridge between America and Europe. And there's international companies like AstraZeneca, Microsoft have their European headquarters in Cambridge. And there's venture capital people there, and they make ideas happen. So, we were fortunate to be within Cambridge, surrounded by people that believed an idea like this could fly.
That's awesome.
There's also another organization festival that I've gone to called Greenbelt. It's in its 50th year this year, and it's all about faith and art and justice. And I go there, and that's where I feel completely at home. And it's about people committed to making a difference in the world, but who recognize that, the arts are a key part to that in terms of communications and meaning and seeing things differently. So Greenbelt has always been a place that I've met inspiring people, and where I've come away refreshed and with new ideas and re-energized. I realized that the project leaders, so we have a summit before every Street Child World Cup. And they all, we invite them to that country to talk about how they want to use the Street Child World Cup. And each of them are incredibly inspiring.
I bet.
Whether they're in Brazil or Indonesia or the Philippines or in India or Pakistan, being in a room with them for a week is incredibly inspiring. And their commitment and their idea of service, of finding yourself when you lose yourself, rubs off on you. They help me be a better person and a better leader just by hanging out with them.
No, that's...
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Did you have one more?
Else to then talk about in terms of people that have influenced me would be the young leaders.
Sure.
Their resourcefulness. I'm a white, middle-aged. Well, I'm always aware of the privilege I have.
Right.
And then when I meet these young people and realize the barriers they've overcome to access the things I've always taken for granted, it makes me more determined to be responsible with the things I've got.
Yeah.
So they constantly inspire me and influence me.
Do they let you tell dad jokes?
You what?
Do they let you tell dad jokes?
Okay, here's one.
No.
Why don't people starve in the desert?
Why do people starve in the desert?
Why don't people starve in the desert? Because of the sandwiches there.
Oh Lord.
Because of the sandwiches there.
That's probably a dad joke. It probably qualifies as a dad joke. I keep getting into trouble for telling dad jokes, so I'll have to see if I can use that. Well, save the rest of the influencers, because I know I think we can all agree that two things: that we get influenced by people all the time, whether we know it or not, but we're also influencing people all the time, whether we know it or not. And I think we should be aware that you can do that positively or negatively, and that's a choice, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
The other place I'd say, Mark, that's influenced is being in the States. Joe and I had 2 years volunteering in North America when we graduated from college, and we were based at an Episcopal church in Richmond, Virginia. And I would say there were two people there, Tad and Connie de Bordenave, that really influenced us. It was in a well-off, wealthy part of town, and they had this old Datsun, and it just said on the back, the bumper sticker that said, "Live simply so other people may simply live." And that's what they were like the whole time. They were different to everybody.
Yeah.
And at the time we were maybe 20 and 21, and being around people like that at that age really helps define your values and who you are and what's important.
100%.
So if I had to single out a person or two, it would be Tad and Connie de Bordenave.
No, that's great, and you're so right on. And how hard is it to positively influence people? It's not hard at all. It's just a choice that we should make, and it's really important. So thank you so much for sharing all that. I know we're going to have a sequel for this for sure, and but really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thanks for staying up on a Monday night.
No big deal. You're welcome.